Hello, my name is Georgian, and welcome back to Gran Turismo Sport. We recently completed the Sunday Cup, and we're just going to continue on with the Beginner League, but this time in the FF Challenge. Only 3 races this time, so we'll probably do a couple in one video and then another in the next. And we'll do the 2 quick ones and then the more complicated one. Yeah, 2 videos I think would be good for this. So, in this time, we have vehicles limited to front wheel drive and a maximum horsepower of 345. Minimum weight none and sport soft. Similar to previously, but this time we only have 3 vehicles that we can actually choose. We can have a really underpowered Swift, a Megane, or a DS3. The Megane. We need as many advantages as possible, but if it's too easy, we'll switch to another vehicle in the next race. So the game, of course, is giving us a mixture of vehicles to play against: Civics, 208 GTIs, Golfs rather, Volkswagen Golfs. A good mix. At least it's not all just one vehicle. And we are starting in position 12, right at the back, same as before. 3 laps on the Speedway, BB Speedway, which is a big scalene triangle, basically. Curved triangle. Now, these cars, because they don't have a huge amount of grunt, are relatively easy to control. Obviously, straight lines here. Pretty simple, but I think corners, yeah, you do need to do a bit of braking, otherwise you're just going to slide out like I'm doing. And hold a nice line, get past that Golf. Already got 2 places. There's only 3 laps in this race, so we need to not be complacent because we're already about halfway round. Nearly went off the track there, but that's fine. Don't really need to follow their lane just yet, because we're on a huge straight, 2 huge straights on this and then a smaller straight, quite an easy track. As long as you don't hit the sides. Yeah, nearly messed it up there, but that's all good. So we're just outpowering these guys pretty much. I mean, I'm not sure what setting that the AI is set to in these beginner races. I assume it's beginner because it's in the beginner league, but it doesn't actually say, whereas when you play arcade it's either beginner, intermediate or expert. So, come on man. Could have taken a much nicer inside line, but we are in 4th. They're right behind me. They keep popping in there. That's fine. What's the interior of the Megane look? Oh, it's actually really nice and clean. A lot of the cars in Gran Turismo, because they're sports cars, are very much quite difficult to see out the front, or you don't have good vision all round. And now we're being outpaced. Fantastic. Only briefly though. His acceleration was good enough for a small turn, and he's hit the wall. Well, nearly got the wall as well there. A minute-long track in the first lap, I just noticed. 1 minute 8 seconds. Should be about 3-4 seconds off. Yeah, 5 seconds off. Pulling into first. I think we will switch it up to a different car. Maybe try the Swift in the next one, because variety is the spice of life. And these Meganes are nice little hatchbacks, really. Actually quite big, but nice and easy track to get us back into the FF Challenge. Oy! Easy there. That Focus has got a bit more grunt in the corners, but I think we can outpace him in the straights. And also this Civic's pretty quick as well. He's outpacing us again. This is the final lap. And I've messed him over. But he's in front of me. If we keep him behind us, we should be fine. This is the straight after all. They all tend to go in the middle lane here, but... Well, I nearly messed that up actually. Oh, I nearly messed that up. I turned rather than just keeping straight. But That's a win regardless. Yeah, 0.086 behind in the Focus. Apparently we got a car handicap, even though I felt this car was pretty powerful. Or at least it was comparable to the rest of the vehicles. I don't obviously own all the vehicles, I have enough to buy some of them, but a lot of them, especially the higher ones, are very, very expensive. But we'll move on to the next race, which I didn't actually register which track it was. Alright, so we're on the Kyoto track, what's it called, Kyoto Driving Park, and instead of going in a 261 brake horsepower car, we're going to go in about half that, in a very lightweight Swift, and I believe we're still going to be still going to be driving against similar opponents, yeah, practically the same, Clio's, DS3 Racing, RCZ, 2.8 GTIs, etc. Swift's not a bad little car though in real life. Not sure how it is to race. Haven't actually tried it. Okay, similar sort of setup again. It does say this is maximum of N400 and we're in an N100 rated car, which means we might get completely obliterated. So it might not be a win this time around, but we'll try nonetheless. If we get third, I'll be pretty happy, considering this car is pretty sluggish. At 95 miles an hour, we might get 100 if we're lucky. Just about 100. I don't think we need to brake too heavy. Yeah, this is going to be a lot more challenging than I had thought. The amount of power, having half the amount of power, is going to be tricky. 16 seconds behind everyone else. You know, this might just be a nice little drive around the track rather than trying to win. I made a great mistake. Maybe we're going to be looking at 10th instead of 3rd. We haven't really closed the difference at all. In time, that is, or the distance. Oh, this car is pretty slow. Not really designed to race, even though it has Swift Sport on the front. It's not very swift. Does it look like the one I have? Sort of. The interior is similar, but the seats are different. If we brake less, we can actually catch up a bit, maybe. I'm still 16 seconds behind the first guy, apparently. Oh no, that's a lie. 16 seconds behind the driver in first. Only 2 seconds behind the guy ahead. And we're almost done with the first lap. I don't really need to brake so much. I still have that on. I'm dumb for having that on. Especially at this super low speed. What is that in front of him? A Mito or a Clio? Can't really tell. But another nice clean driving view. Wait, yeah, it's a Mito. Get out the way, son. Off the track. Well, at least we got 11th place. Maybe we'll have to come back in another video to do this track again, but with a better car. And I might buy an M400 car, front wheel drive, like one of those Focuses, just to see how much power that has compared to what we drove in the previous one, which is the Megane. And of course this car. Actually gaining slightly. Oh no, we're not. The guy ahead is pulling away. But we are 3 seconds behind the guy in front. Oh no, sorry, 4 seconds is the guy behind us. 1.3 seconds behind this red Golf from the looks of it. I swear there was a setting where you could change so you could see what car was in front of you rather than just the AI names. If we just try and take a nice inside line here, we might be able to shave some more time off. What lap is this? Lap 2. It's quite a big course for a car of this size. 2 minutes 34 for the first lap, but that was a rolling start at a certain speed, so... Again, it wants us to brake here, but we don't really need to. I'm not steering too much, I'm not pulling the triggers... Sorry, not pulling the directional sticks too much, otherwise I'd be off the track. Don't need a huge amount of oversteer, just a tad understeer and we'll be fine. See, this is a slow corner for the AI and for me, I guess, but they tend to take it quite wide. Then again, beginner's cup, so that's all fine. Yeah, I regret this decision to use the Swift, but at least we got a few more cars in this cup that I have chosen. I mean, I could have used other vehicles. That was a bad corner. Could have taken that much better. That's one where I could have actually braked a bit and come out better, I think. That's a super wide corner, that's where I knocked the meter off and I'm off the track. 11th place. That's what it's going to be. And I think we probably have a worse track time now because of that error. But yeah, this is a relatively nice, easy track for a faster car. And yeah, it's kind of... There's a nice long straight here, big wide corners, a couple of tight corners on the later section of the map, but of the track. But yeah, it's pretty easy, especially for a car with less power. Oh, we still managed to shave off 1.8 seconds off of the previous time. But I don't think we're going to be able to catch up with the previous guy, the next guy. The Finnish chap that we knocked off previously, I don't think will catch up to us either. He's been programmed to be very, very slow. I mean, like I said in the first lap, it's going to be a nice, easy, long drive. Just without any traffic, you know? This is not what racing is supposed to be about. But I do appreciate them adding cars like this, because sometimes you don't really want to play a hypercar like a Bugatti or a Lamborghini or Porsche or any of those really mid to high-end brands of cars, because you just want to chill out and drive around the track like this. Managed to shave off a second, that's pretty good. And cutting the corners. I don't think you get any penalties really in the beginner cup. It's just, have you driven before? No. Then go in the beginner cup and drive around the track, and if you knock people out of the way it doesn't matter, because it isn't enforced that you have to drive properly. But yeah, we're not even going to get on the top 3 as we're coming up to the third to last corner. Shaved another second off that time because we didn't fall off the track. Actually no, this is the corner where I fell off. There we go, nice and easy. Might be able to get 10th if I'm lucky. 1.2 seconds ahead of me. If I brake later, but then again the assisted brake is going to cut in. If I can knock this guy out the way, I might be able to get him. I'll get a bonus for car handicap though, but not a huge one. Managed to get 10th. I thought we may have pulled ahead a lot more. My estimate of third was way, way, way off. But 227 for the Swift. Record 10th. Highest position. Ah well. What were we? Oh, we beat an RCZ, which is a... RCZ, which is a... what is it? A Peugeot and a Mito Alpha. Cool. We got 60% car handicap, so we didn't get a huge amount of stuff, but we got a lot of mileage points and some experience. But we did get the 29.5 miles daily challenge. So, that was pretty good. We'll see what we got. So, a good first race on the Blue Moon Bay Speedway, and then we probably should have taken heed from what we see in the images here. Golf, Type R Honda, Civic, and a Megane, I believe that is as well. So, from 1st to 10th. Ah well. Let's go back to the main menu and see what we got for today by driving our little race marathon. On the wheel today we have a 4 selection of hypercars from the looks. One's a Bugatti at the back there. And it might be the Bugatti it is. Hey, we got another one. I already actually own 2 Bugattis. And I think I already own this vehicle as well. I swear I already own that one. So I guess you can get duplicates. Which is a shame. But, in fact, I'm going to check that right now. Just to see... where is it? Live view editor. No. Misclick. Right. Garage. By manufacturer. I do own 2 cars. So you can get duplicates. I didn't think you could. But there we go. See, I have the GR1, which is a down-tuned version of this car. So I have a beige grey and a pink one. Oh well, 2 Bugattis is better than 0, or just the 1 I guess. Anyway, that was the FF challenge, or at least the first 2 races. Next video will definitely be buying a stronger car to get that race we did, the second race in the Swift anyway, up to standard race 1. Position 1, and then we will do the 3rd map and complete that cup, or that league. Thank you for watching, and as always, I've been Georgian, and I'll see you chaps and chapettes in the next one.